to another episode of Selling Success. Actually, this is my first episode since the name changed, and I'm super excited. And that's the first time I'm actually saying it as a introduction, Selling Success. So I'm super excited to have all of you guys here. And I've gotten a ton of emails, text messages, and DMs asking if now is the right time to buy. And, you know, people ask me from literally all over the United States or even out of the United States. They ask me in different countries. I've heard from Canada. I've heard from Germany. I've heard from somebody over in Italy. And they wanted to know from me, is now the right time to buy? Well, I can't speak for everywhere else in the world, but I can tell you a little bit about Florida. So in Florida, we are still the hot spot. We just got all of our things out because people are saying, are we going to see the same thing that we saw in 2008? You know, that big recession that hit really hard the housing market and everyone was foreclosing and short selling their homes. It was back in 2008 and there was a ton of inventory. People could not sell. We did not have enough buyers and people were selling for like next to nothing. People were literally walking away from their houses. And I know a lot of clients, because it would take years and years and years to short sale it, and they did not make a payment on their house. So to be honest with you, people were pocketing cash. They're not paying their mortgage. And it was taking 7 years or 4 or 5 years to short sale their property, that they were pocketing all this cash, that the next house they bought was in cash and they didn't even have a mortgage and they were living free. Not that I advise that. I think it's absolutely crazy. And I think the banks definitely have a hold on all of that stuff right now, because if somebody does not pay their mortgage right now, you bet that turnaround is going to be about a year before they go to court with you and get you out of that house. And they're going to have somebody coming to remove you with a deputy saying that your house has been sold from underneath you. So here's the statistics from 2008 into now, because I know everybody wants to know, is now the time to buy? Is the housing market going to crash? Are we in a bubble? What's going to happen in a year from now? I wish I could tell you what's going to happen in a year from now, but I will actually tell you what's happening today. So let's look at the statistics. The U.S. housing inventory plunged from 4 million in 2008 to just under 1 million today. So let's take the entire United States as a total. In 2008, we had 4 million properties for sale. That was our issue in 2008, 4 million properties. Today in the United States, we have 1 million properties for sale. That's a 3 million house difference. That's huge. So you can see from that perspective how there's not a huge inventory of houses. The supply is very, very low right now compared to literally everywhere. So to put that in perspective, we are 4 million homes sold in America last month alone. So in America last month, we've sold 4 million homes. I do a market report every single Monday. Every week to week, we're increasing the sales. I don't do it for all over the US. I do it for Palm Beach County. And then I attach Parkland with me. So I do Boynton, Delray, Boca, and Parkland. And I do a market update. And I can tell you consistently for the last few years, we have seen an increase of sales every single week and a decrease of active properties on the market. If you want to know the statistics on that, please log on to my social media on Facebook and Instagram, and you can follow that trend. I can't tell you the numbers offhand right now, but I can tell you consistently the active properties on the market have decreased and the sold properties have increased. Days on the market are shorter. I think I'll go back to that in a second. I'll tell you about what I think the houses that are staying on the market actually are doing. Okay, so today's market makes the situation polar opposite of 2008. Back then, the market was oversupplied. Today, the housing market is alarmingly low. So as long as the shortage persists, home prices will not crash like they did in 2008. Even with mortgage rates jumping to their highest level in over a decade, there are still millions of Americans looking to buy a home every single day. Now, why is that? Rent prices are through the roof. Yes, I'm hearing about people decreasing rent prices. Yes, I'm hearing about how some houses are not renting out as quick as they used to, but they're still astronomically higher than where we were a year or two ago. So people have two options. They can either spend their money and pay for rent and hope that the housing market is going to crash and that there's going to be millions and millions of homes on the market for hundreds of thousands of dollars off. I don't know what's going to happen in a couple of years from now. We don't see that happening today. I had buyers last year say they were going to wait till this year because they saw that they thought that $1 million homes back then, a year ago, $1 million homes were going to be around $700,000. Well, I'm here to tell you guys that those $1 million homes are still $1 million homes. You might be able to get $25,000 off, but they're still, $1 million properties. They haven't substantially went down. We're not seeing $100,000 decreases. We're not seeing $200,000 decreases. We might, if a house comes on the market and that's staying on the market, a couple of things I think can go wrong. And it depends. Every house is different. Every agent's different. If I'm taking a client to go look at residential property, I take a look at how long the house has been on the market for. And then I go in, hey, listen, if it's been on the market more than 15, 20 days, I ask the agent why before I show the property, because I want to know, why has it not been on the market? Our properties right now, we're pricing them right. So they are gone with multiple offers still to this day, which is April 4th, 2023. They're still flying off the market with multiple offers for our asking price. So I always ask the agent, why does she think the house is still on the market? And the reasons could just go. Either the seller doesn't want to sell and they're very firm on their price. Either they don't know where they're going to buy, so they're just waiting for that perfect buyer. They're not ready yet. They didn't know that they were going to sell the house so quickly. Or the house needs a new roof and it has some insurance issues that they think is going to be an issue. Or I ask them, have you received any offers? That's the other one. If they have not received any offers, I question myself, is this house overpriced? Obviously, I'm going to run my comps to see if I feel that the house is overpriced, but I like to see if the house is overpriced. If it's astronomically higher than the area, then if it's overpriced, the sellers are not level-headed, the agent doesn't know the market, I probably won't show the property because I'm not going to waste my client's time unless they want to spend over what they think the value of the property is. So it's all up to, situations and scenarios with that one. Another thing that I'm seeing that the houses are on the market a little bit longer for is if they don't have a pool. So houses are staying a little bit longer on the market that do not have a pool. So if a house has a pool, if it's 3 or 4 bedrooms, if the roof is not original, when I say original, I mean from like 1990s or 1989. If the roof is like in the 2000s and it has a pool and it's basically redone, people are even going back to the brown kitchens. They're not caring as much because, they can paint the cabinets, they can redo a bathroom and they can redo a kitchen in time. But if it has the foundations, which are a pool that everybody's requesting right now, 3 or more bedrooms. And if it has a newer roof in the 2000s, that house is gone. I promise you that house is not going to last on the market longer than 7 days. And an agent might keep it on the market for a couple of reasons. She might want to get buyers off of that lead, so she might not make it contingent. She might want to wait till the inspection period is over. I don't know why that agent's going to keep it on the market. But I promise you, that house will be gone. If you don't believe me, follow the trends. Log on to my market update every single week and see the consistency in the flow of the houses and how you can see that they are going very, very quickly. What's lasting on the market right now? Condos. Why? Condo insurance fees just got slammed. I'm hoping in the next couple weeks, I'm going to get my insurance guy in here and he can talk to us about what he thinks is with the insurance and the issues with the insurance. And I can tell you that the condominiums got hit hard because down here we had a huge fall of a building down in Miami. So that made engineers go out to all the structures here in Florida, and they've all increased their prices because they've all needed to have some updoing and some fixing up on these condos, which has made their insurance through the roof. and they're all being assessed. And I'm not just seeing this on the residential side. I'm also seeing this in office buildings on the commercial side as well. We're getting a couple commercial people right now that are asking us to stick their properties on the market for their office spaces and everything because they cannot afford their insurance anymore. And it's getting to be extremely, extremely high. So that's where I see the market as of today, April 4th, 2023. And I hope you guys have a successful week and tune in next week. I hope to get my insurance guy in here so he can touch base on it a little bit and see and tell us, where we see the insurances coming in and are there exceptions to the rule of the roof? Can you get insurance right now if the roof is original? I have all the good questions I want to ask him that you guys want me to ask him. Is there an issue between living east versus west? How much money is flood insurance right now? Do we see anything increasing with the insurances? Are carriers dropping Florida? I have some great questions I want to ask him. So before he comes in, guys, send me these questions and I'd be happy to have him answer these questions. I hope you guys have a successful week. This is Becky Skeba-Mancini with Selling Success. And I hope you guys have a great week. Please listen to me on podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. And you can follow me on social media, Instagram and Facebook. Take care, guys. Bye.